My name is Sean. I'm going to review the Dredd 3D movie out in theaters right now.
Inhabitants of peach trees. This is Judge Dredd.
Let him talk.
This block operates under the same rules as the rest of the city. Mama is not the law. I am the law.
I saw the Dredd 3D movie a few days ago, in 3D actually, and it's pretty awesome. I know it's based on a comic book. I've read like maybe 2 or 3 stories, and the stories that I've read in the Dredd comics are probably not in keeping with the general all-around mood and tone of the comic. I read one where he fights Judge Death, and I read another one where he fights mutants. I read another one where he fights a genetically altered giant woman. I don't know if all that is in keeping with the overall tone of the comic, but at any rate, the movie itself is awesome. It's an R-rated picture, lots of violence and lots of blood in it. Basically, it's about in the future. The world is all screwed up from nuclear war or something, and everyone is huddled in one giant megacity, which is called Megacity 1, and it has it looks like LA, but with giant megastructures strewn throughout as well. And these megastructures hold like half a million people or so. They're pretty much cities in their own right, and there's trouble brewing in one of the towers called Peach Trees. I love that these giant monoliths of despair are called like fun things, you know, just to try and maintain the community sort of aspect of it, and try and be like a good-natured community or something. But Dredd has to take like a psychic rookie under his belt, and the psychic is a mutant, but she's a really good one, really good psychic, best of her kind. And they go into this Peach Tree's giant tower, and it's really ruled by a drug lord called Mama, and they are about to take in a witness who can tell them everything about the operation, and of course Mama doesn't like that, so she shuts down the building and traps them inside with giant blast doors that I guess all the megastructures have in case of another nuclear war. And so these two cops are trapped. And cops in the future are judge, jury, and executioner. And Judge Dredd is supposedly the best of them. And basically the whole movie is these cops trapped in this tower. And I know a lot of people have compared this to the Raid Redemption. It's nothing like Raid Redemption. I'm sure that they didn't know about each other, like the two productions didn't know about each other. This movie doesn't take plot points or ideas from Raid Redemption, so it's a completely different movie. Just about people trapped in a giant tower ruled by a drug lord. That's where the similarities end. What precedes is a lot of gunplay and cool gadgetry that the cops have in the future, like a gun that can perform different. It has different kinds of ammunition in it, and it's controlled by voice. And also there's like rockets that come out of shoes, and there's like concussion grenades and all sorts of cool stuff. There are a lot of cool little ideas in there, like there's corrupt cops that come after Dredd, and there's some gadgetry that the bad guys have as well. And it's never too unrealistically futuristic. It is unrealistic, but it's more plausible futuristic, very gritty. It's, and as I said, it's very, very violent. This is an R-rated action movie, and it made like $6 million in its opening weekend, so that's pretty much the death knell for R-rated action pictures. R-rated comedies make a lot of money, but, I mean, if you look at what's popular nowadays, like kids' movies, like CGI animated movies, and Avengers and all that stuff, and R-rated comedies, it's all stuff that's lighthearted and takes your mind off of the economic downturn that's going on right now, especially in the United States. It's really bad over there still. And a movie like Judge Dredd would not have made it in this market. But I mean, I'm sure it'll go on to be a cult classic. It's pretty awesome. Another thing too is the drugs that are overtaking the city. It's a brand new drug called slow-mo in the movie, and it basically slows down time so that everything looks like it's at a standstill. And when that happens, the filmmaker shows you the beauty of certain things like smoke whirling around in the air, or water droplets like flying around in slow motion. And it's really beautiful, and it's a contrast from their tragic and terrible lives that the people that are taking these drugs have. It doesn't take the side that like it's good that they're taking these drugs, but it shows you why they're taking the drugs. They live crappy lives, and this gives them a little piece of paradise, and actually shows them the beauties around them, like in that short amount of time that they're on slow-mo, and reminds them that there is kind of beauty around them. I'm probably reading a lot into that, but it's very interesting, like the kind of drug that was created for this movie, like the idea behind it, that it kind of takes these characters away from their terrible, like, radiation-soaked, overpopulated and grungy and terrible lives. Judge Dredd is a pretty awesome action picture. It's right up there with a lot of good ones. I have to say, though, that a lot of the violence doesn't have... I don't know how to explain this. It doesn't have its own personality. There's a lot of cool stuff happening, people getting blown up and, you know, heads exploding and whatnot. But there's nothing that's really endearing or enduring in this. If you really do want to compare this to the Raid Redemption, let's compare it then. Raid Redemption has some sequences in it that actually add personality to the action, like when this, I can't remember the names, but when this one cop and this bad guy have guns on each other, and then the one bad guy's like, well, you know, I don't like guns, it's like ordering takeout, I prefer to be up close, and then he challenges the guy to a fight, and that fight is awesome in itself, but it has this added dimension of why they're fighting, and they're fighting because of this philosophy this guy has. And, I mean, that makes that fight memorable. This is just, you know, we have this Gatling gun and we destroy this one half of this city block in this giant complex, and it's cool, and you see a lot of stuff explode real good. But there's not a lot of twist to make it unique. And maybe I'm reading way too much in that. You can blast away in the comments section, but because of that, like, the action is cool, but it doesn't really stick in the head as much as something like some of the action sequences in Raid. And, I mean, because of that, I think it will be a cult classic. And it'll live on, and people who love Dredd in the comics will probably love this movie. Dredd himself always has his helmet on, and that's just the iconic image that he has in the comics, like, almost all the time. I don't think he's ever taken that helmet off in the comics. Maybe I'm wrong. It is a cool movie. I would give it, like, you know, an 8 out of 10. But, I mean, it's not for people that don't like action. If you don't like action, then do not watch this movie. If you don't like violence, do not watch this. If you like action, you like violence, you like heroic characters who have an unwavering moral code, you'll love this movie. The characters are clear-cut, good and bad, and they have at it, and it's pretty damn awesome.